Chevron. We are right here reporting live outside of the Ma'arat HaMachpelah, the cave where our matriarchs and patriarchs are buried. So if you remember learning about Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, and Leah, Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, they're all buried here except for Rachel, but we'll get into that another time. So I have one question for you today. Who was the first Jew to ever say, "Thank you, HaShem"? Who was that? Does anybody know? I'll give you a hint. We are standing really, really close to him. And he was the first Jew ever on planet Earth. His name was AVRAHAM, Abraham. And he introduced monotheism to the world because at the time when he was living, people were only serving idols. They all believed in everything else except our one true HaShem. So Avraham and Sarah, they built a beautiful tent just like the one that we're in right now, and there were entryways on each side of the tent, and guests from all over came through their tent and stopped to stay over their house, and they had food, they had drink, they stayed over for a corned beef sandwich, they slept over even, they gave them accommodations to stay for however long they want. It was basically like they ran a hotel, but they didn't take any money from people staying over. All they asked for was each guest should say, "Thank you, HaShem." But one day there was a man named Nimrod, and he was going to visit Avraham's tent. He heard that is, the place to be. So he was traveling through the desert, and he stopped along at Avraham and Sarah's tent, and he stayed there for a really, really long time. And he said, "So how much do I owe you?" And he said, "You don't owe me anything if you just say thank you, Hashem, thank you to God." And he said, "But I am God." He literally thought that he was the king of the world, and he thought he was a god. And Avraham said, "Well, then you owe me not just your bill, but you owe me all of the bills of every single guest that ever stayed at our tent, because you're God, right? So you owe us money to pay for all of the people who stayed here." And he looked at the bill and he almost fainted, and he said, "What do you mean I have to pay all of that?" And Avraham said, "Yeah." And he said, "Wait a minute, okay, just kidding, I'm not God." And then Avraham was like, "Okay, so if you're not God, then write down on a paper that you are not God, and then say, 'Thank you, Hashem.'" So he did just that. Even though it was really hard for him, he accepted that there is one God and he is not a god. And then Avraham took that paper that declared that Nimrod accepted that he is not God and there's only one God. And Avraham took that paper and he showed people in the city, and he said, "Listen, it's true, there's only one God, and even Nimrod himself agrees to it, and I have it here in writing." So what we learn from Avram is how to say "Thank you, Hashem," and not only that, but how to inspire others to say "Thank you, Hashem." And I am so sure that Avram and Sarah would be so proud of "Thank you, Hashem." This brand is amazing, and it does exactly what Avram and Sarah worked every single day of their lives to do. They brought awareness to Hashem, and they brought awareness to gratitude to Hashem. Not just for Jews, but every single human being on planet Earth. We all should say thank you to God every single day for every single thing that we get, because it all comes from Hashem.
Thank you, Hashem, Hashem, thank you.
We are going in to visit our beautiful uncle, Yaakov AVINU, Jacob, our teacher. Shabbat Shalom. רוצים להביא לכם פופקורן, תודה רבה על הכל, שיהיה לכם שבת שלום.